everyone, it is Susie, and I hope everybody is doing fantastic this week. I have some page edgers or border clusters, or I'm not sure what you want to call them. They've been called several things, but anyway, I had made some for a project that we were getting ready to do in Sophie's notes in a swap, and so the theme is letters and numbers, so that is what I used, and that's why these have so many numbers and like my little letters, you know, from cards sitting there. So anyway, but these are super fun, and I want to do a quick craft with me. We are actually going to make this one right here in the craft with me. So now I was inspired by Robin Dudley Howe's The Artsy Bohemian. I was actually watching one of her videos where she was working in a journal actually, and she did a really pretty one though. It came out kind of wide at the bottom and built up. But anyway, that is who I originally saw do this. But I have seen a couple other videos. One is Mixed Media Minnesota, who did a kind of a cluster border or something there, and then Till and Tattered Journals also did something there like it that I had watched. So I will try to link all these videos in the description box. If I can remember to, I will do that. If I forget, forgive me, but go over and check out their channel, and it's real easy to find the videos if you'll just, you know, punch in page edgers or edge clusters or something like that. You know, it'll pop up for you. But anyway, I wanted to show you, all I did was really use scraps to make these. And I've used some of the Tim Holtz pieces here. I'm not sure what he calls these pieces. I can't remember now. A lot of them he called wallpaper pieces there, but anyway, they're just the ones that are this size, and they're square, or rectangle. But anyway, I use this, and I just simply kind of tear it. I just kind of tear it to the size that I like, and I just kind of try to get wider at the bottom so I can kind of build upon a base there. And that's how I start with my base. But I have used all kinds of little pieces of Tim Holtz. I even used an envelope in the one here. I used an envelope there at the bottom, and that was real fun there. But I have just used, you know, all kinds of, it's a scrap buster for sure if you're wanting to use up some scraps. You know, just really simple there to get you some scraps and get them thrown on your craft table, and a few little photos if you want to do photos in there, or paper dolls. You know, I even use the little paper dolls here, and a bunch of my little snippets from Tim Holtz I used. But anyway, guys, just super fun. These are 8.5, and however wide you want them to be. So I've even used some of the little frames. That's a Tim Holtz frame. This is a 49 a Market little negative, or whatever you want to call those there. And another little Tim Holtz frame here. So you can frame out what you want. This is just a little piece that popped out of one of my little things there from the 49 a Market. So just simple things you can use those little bits and pieces and have fun. And one more thing that I almost forgot about, I wanted to remind you real quickly of. In the Etsy shop, I still have the 50% off. We'll go till the end of July using coupon code Celebrate50. So they have to be all caps. So anyway, and you'll get 50% off your entire cart. So if you're looking for a good deal this month, you can't go wrong on that. And also thanks to Elaine, who brought it to my attention. I actually spelled celebrate wrong in the last video, but it is spelled correctly in the Etsy shop. I probably put an A where the E was here in Celebrate. So knowing me, I didn't go back and look because I couldn't change the video anyway. But anyway, all caps, Celebrate 50 will get you 50% off your entire cart in the Etsy shop till the end of July. So with that said, now let's get into the make. Alright, so let's get into the make. I am going to start by getting my background papers on here. Alright, let's get the background papers on. And I'm just going to kind of overlap these, so there's kind of a little bit of process. I had already laid this out and know where I'm going with it. So, all right. Okay, and before I get too far, I did have to cut down my Tim Holtz. I forget what he calls these, but since that's what I'm using for the background, I did have to cut it to 8.5, because if I'm going to put it on a journal page that is 8.5 long, I wanted to be sure that I didn't go over that and have to cut it after I get everything on. So be sure and cut down to whatever page size that you're going to use. Alright, so then I think my picture is going to have to go next. I've kind of got me a little screenshot of how I had it there so I could remember. Okay. So I'm going to kind of just lay out a little bit here and try to get maybe where I want this picture to be exactly. This was going to kind of go up at the top. Let's see, okay, so that looks about like the right place there. I'm going to kind of mark it with some glue there. And this is just an old photo that I picked up in a package of old photos that I picked up at the antique store. So, and it just was nice and long like I needed, so it was perfect for my project here. Okay, and I'm going to have that go about right there. Whoops. Don't want that to be sticking on the paper. Okay, so now that I've got that done, we're going to start building on it. So I know this is just a card that I've tore apart here. I'm going to actually put it kind of, I think I'll put it kind of there. I want that to overlap that just somewhat. And then I think I'm going to put that and kind of have, I think that's where I am headed. So let's get this stuck down. Okay, and then this is going to go about right there. There we go. All right. Now I think before I get too much stuck on top of this, I am going to stitch around this photo before I get anything overlapped on it. So I'm going to take the time to go do that real quick. And I will have to let this glue dry just a hair before I can stitch it. Okay, so I stitched around. I've just been using white thread on these instead of my normal black that I like to use. But anyway, so I'm going to, I think I want that right there. right. Okay. Let's see. I know that I'm going to put this about right there. I'm not going to worry about sticking it down too good because I'm actually going to staple it, is what I'm going to do. Okay. And I had thought about putting this here. This was actually an afterthought, but I don't know. Or I may have to get a smaller one. Or do I want to, maybe I do want to frame it out. Okay, well, we won't put that down just yet. We're going to stick this down. Alright, so let's just go ahead and frame that out. And we can go ahead and put that. Now the little frames are from 49 and Market. The slides are, I'm not sure exactly what they're called. I'm sure they're photo slides is what they're called, but or photo strip, probably. I just usually always pick some up if I'm at the scrapbook store that I like to go to there in Branson, Missouri. If you've never been there, it is an awesome scrapbook store. They have just everything. Everything you can think of, so. Alright, so we've got that. Now let's see, I think I've got to, this is going to go somewhere like that. And do something to this fix. I think I need to, I inked most everything up, but I think I forgot to ink up my little, this is just a little another Tim Holtz ephemera piece here, his little bingo cards. Alright, and I'm actually going to put that somewhere like that because I'm going to put that 4 over it. Alright. I'll put that somewhere like that, and then my little 4 is going to go right somewhere about here, which is going to make my little border, edge border there. Okay. So alright, I shouldn't have put too much glue there on that edge. I always forget when I'm gluing that it's not going to go on paper, so. Okay. We're going to add this little piece right on here. Oops, I think my 4 was supposed to go under. Yeah, it was. Because I had too much, well, let's see. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't want that under. Yeah, maybe I don't want it under. I may just want it to go overlap there. Okay, yes, I think I do. Alright, so we're just gonna... Alright, and that is pretty much our border, edge border there. Or edge cluster, whichever you wanna call it there. Alright, so I'm going to do a little more stitching though. I know I'm going to add, I don't know, some stitching here somewhere, especially over here and probably up through here, just to give it a little more added something there. So, alright, then plus I'm going to put some staples in as well. I know I'll be stapling, let's see. Let's go ahead and staple that in 2 places there. And these are the ones that I have put a little of the alcohol ink on to make them look rusty. So I think we will go ahead and I think we'll staple this, and I may stitch on that. So alright, well let me get my stitching in, put me some little stitching here, and we'll come back and we will complete this out. Okay, so I've got my stitching done, and I've just made a nice little fancy stitch there. I just did a little going around there and some little stitch there. So anyway, that just pretty much completes the only thing that I'd have left if I did around the frame. But I think what I've done is just fine. It's just enough. So anyway, guys, there is the make, and there are my other 3. These were a lot of fun, and I hope that you will be able to give them a try. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.